In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bets for Thursday, February 6th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our February 6th NBA bet slate we got going on. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 9.19 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we're well on the way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you're already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a much broader audience. All right, now speaking of this Patreon here, if you guys want to sign up right now and find out who is going to win the Super Bowl, all right, you got to click on that link provided down below. This was a posting all the way from November 2nd. All right, we had the future of the Super Bowl all the way from there. All right, so if you want to find out who's going to win on Sunday, click on that link provided down below. Get connected. You're getting access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. First up in Target Center here, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves 27-23 going up against the Houston Rockets 32-18. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, we have the Timberwolves as home favorites -115 with the comeback of the Rockets almost even here at -105. Point spread at a 1.5. Total points at 215.5. Full game public bet percentage here, 71% of the bets, 67% of the money towards the side of the Minnesota Timberwolves. For the point spread, 66% of the bets, 70% of the money for the Minnesota Timberwolves to cover. And for the total points, 91% and 97% of the money towards the over 215.5. All right, looking at the injury report here for these two top tier talents in the Western Conference here, and we're looking at it and we're seeing the Houston Rockets, Steven Adams game time decision, Jaden Springer game time decision, Tariq Eason game time decision, Fred VanVleet is out, and Jabari Smith is still out for a couple more weeks. All right, Minnesota Timberwolves, no Julius Randle and no Dante DiVincenzo. All right, for the Minnesota Timberwolves, this is going to be their second game of a back-to-back. Right now, they are about to play. Let's see what they're about to play. They are about to play the Chicago Bulls right now. So this will be the second end of a back-to-back, and they got to play up for this spot here against the Houston Rockets. So far, the series is tied at 1-1. Houston won the first one, and then Minnesota won the second one, both alternating and winning on the road. All right, this one's in Minnesota. Let's see if that trend happens again in this particular spot. For this one here, last 5 games, Minnesota Timberwolves have been struggling, losing 2 games in a row against Washington and the Sacramento Kings. We'll see what happens against the Chicago Bulls. And then the Houston Rockets, embarrassing loss against the Brooklyn Nets. Absolutely embarrassing loss. They had a, 5-point lead, 4-point lead with 9 seconds left. And they gave up 2 threes so the Brooklyn Nets can get it was absolutely embarrassing, and they lost back-to-back games against the Brooklyn Nets, lost to the Knicks, lost to Memphis right there in a heartbreaking fashion. They need to turn things around. This could be a spot where they can do that here. I think there's going to be a tightly contested game as well. And I think you're going to be catching the Timberwolves at the right moment. All right, so the value for me is going to be on the Houston Rockets. Give me the +1.5 for the 215.5 in the total. The first game was set at 219. That went over. The second game was set at 215, and that went over as well. They're bringing that total right back to that number. I like the over in this one. I like the over in this one as well. All right, so give me the Rockets +1.5 on the point spread and the over 215.5. In Ball Arena here, we have the Denver Nuggets 31-19 going up against the Orlando Magic 24-27. Looking at the current odds for this game here, we have the Denver Nuggets home favorites minus 450 on the money line, with the comeback of the Orlando Magic at a plus 340, point spread at a 9.5. Total points at 220.5. Public bet percentage here right now, no information on the money line, but for the point spread, 74% of the bets, 69% of the money on Denver to cover the 9.5. For the total points, 86% of the bets, 86% of the money towards the over 220.5. All right, looking at the injury report here for these two teams, starting off with the Orlando Magic. As soon as it loads up, we have Mac McClung, game time decision. Jalen Suggs is going to be a game time decision. And Moritz Wagner is going to be out for the year. For the Denver Nuggets, Aaron Gordon is a game time decision. Russell Westbrook is out. Peyton Watson is out. Vlatko Cancer is out, and Deron Holmes is out for the season. All right, both of these teams here are going to be on the second game of a back-to-back. Both teams are playing right now on Wednesday. All right, so same tired legs here coming into this particular spot here, but the Denver Nuggets have been red hot as of late, winning 3 games in a row, beating Philadelphia, handling Charlotte, and blowing out the New Orleans Pelicans. They did have a little bit of a rough patch at the end of January, but it's looking like they're turning things around now. Orlando Magic have lost 4 games in a row. We'll see how they handle things in Sacramento. But definitely this is going to be a very difficult game at the end of their road trip, going up against the Denver Nuggets in this spot here. Now, these two teams have already played, and that was earlier in the season. The Nuggets won outright on the road. They covered the number of 7.5, but the total of 221.5 went under. All right, they set this one at 220. I believe that these two teams put up a very nice amount of offense on both sides here. As we've seen, the Magic have struggled scoring against Golden State, Utah, Portland. All right, they scored 99, 99, and 90. I think things turn around in this particular spot. I'm going to lean towards the over in this one. That's why they set the line right back at 220. They didn't drop it too low. I like the over in 220. But for the point spread here, I think the value is on the Magic. Second game of a back-to-back. I think the Magic show up in this particular spot here. Not saying they win a game, but 10 points is a little bit too much here when we got the combination of Paolo Banchero and Moritz Wagner in this one. And we're saying that Russell Westbrook is missing this game as well. Give me the 9.5 on the Magic and give me the over 220. In Moda Center here, we have the Portland Trailblazers 22-29, going against the Sacramento Kings 25-24. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Kings are road favorites minus 140 on the money line, with the comeback of the Blazers at a 115. Point spread at a 2.5. Total points at 230.5. Public bet percentage here, no information right now on the money line, and no information right now on the point spread. But for the total points, 75% of the bets, 73% of the money towards the over 230.5. Looking at the injury report here, the Sacramento Kings are going through a lot of changes as of right now. They just they traded away De'Aaron Fox. Obviously, they wasn't going to give him the Supermax. And they acquired Jonas Valanciunas. So that's definitely a positive there to get a big to go alongside Sabonis. We'll see if he's going to be able to play in this one. That's a question mark on the side of the Kings. And any other injuries, there's no problems there. And obviously they do have Zach LaVine now as well. All right, so they got a lot of guys here that can put the ball in the basket. Portland Trailblazers, Matisse Thybulle's out, and Taze Moore is a game-time decision. All right, this Portland Trailblazers team has been on fire as of late, winning 5 games in a row, and they pretty much come out of nowhere. They turned it around with Chauncey Billups at head coach. They were well under 500 and put on a nice little win streak here. They handled Phoenix twice, Indiana, Orlando, and Milwaukee. For the Kings, they've been up and down. This will be their second game of a back-to-back as well. They're facing Orlando on Wednesday, and then they have to go over and play Portland. But they beat Minnesota, beat Brooklyn Nets as well, but lost to OKC, Philadelphia, and New York. So they lost to some really good teams here for the Sacramento Kings side. These two teams have already played. Both of the games there. it was 1-1. So Kings won the first one, Portland won the second one at home. Each home team won their particular game. All right. So the first one, that was Kings at home, minus 12.5. They outright won, covered the number, and the under went 231. The second game was the Trailblazers as underdogs at home. They cashed the plus 230. They covered the plus 7.5, obviously, and that total went under 225. And then in this third matchup, they set that line back at 230. All right, not 232, put it right at 230. These are two definitely offenses here that can put up big points. And especially on the Portland Trailblazers side, they've been struggling defensively earlier in the season. As of now, they've had some strong stops. Okay, against Indiana, they stopped them to 89. Against Orlando, 90. They had some trouble with Phoenix. So different offenses, it depends. They can really struggle against. Obviously, they allowed 112 to Milwaukee. That's one of the top tier offenses in the league. I think Sacramento would be up there as well. So I love the over 230 on the total. But for a winner, give me the money line on the Kings. I think the Portland Trailblazers win streak comes to an end. And I think the Kings have the better team here in this spot. Give me them on the money line and the over 230. In Intuit Dome here, the LA Clippers 28-22 going up against the Indiana Pacers 28-21. Looking at the current odds for this game here, we have the LA Clippers as home favorites minus 155 on the money line, with the comeback of the Pacers at a plus 125. Point spread at a 3.5, and total points at 228.5. Public bet percentage here, no information as of right now on the money line, but for the point spread, 52% of the bets coming in on Pacers, but we have 53% of the money coming in on the Clippers to cover that 3.5. So public and sharps are split here on that point spread. For the total points, 85% of the bets, 76% of the money towards the over 228.5. Looking at the injury report for these two teams, starting things off with the Pacers, Isaiah Jackson out for the season and James Wiseman out for the season. LA Clippers, Cam Christie is a game time decision, all right? These two teams, let's see, starting off with the Clippers, they've struggled the last two games, losing to Toronto and LA. They had a long road trip, came back home, lost to the Lakers. They're looking to bounce back here and get things cooking at home. For the Pacers, they were on a long win streak and then came up short against Portland, the red-hot Portland Trailblazers. Lost by double digits in that one. That was an embarrassing performance here. And these two teams, this is their first matchup of the season, all right? So if we're looking at the total here at 228.5, how efficient that both of these offenses are, especially the Pacers, top 10 in threes, top 5 in field goal percentage. Definitely, as you can see, in top 10 in points per game. The pace is going to be high here in this game, and I like the over 228.5. If we're looking at that number of 228.5 has went over in their last 5 out of their last 6 games. So majority of their games, the last 6 games, 5 times they've gone over this total of 228.5. So love the over here, and give me the Clippers to get things right here. They've struggled the past 2 games after a long road trip, and I think they get things right at home against the Pacers here. So give me the money line for the Clippers and the over 228.5. Those are going to be our selections on the Thursday slate for February 6th. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree or disagree. We can definitely debate about that. If you guys want to sign up for the Patreon, remember, click on that description section, get connected. You're getting access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes up 24/7. This is your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.